People with a 9-to-5 job often dream of starting their own business and immediately picture working from their laptop on a tropical beach sipping a margarita. But if you're an entrepreneur, then you know this is not the reality. And although entrepreneurship is an incredible way of life and one that I'm committed to, there are a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to running a service-based business, such as a coaching or consulting company. So today we're going to talk about the top challenges of a successful coaching or consulting business. I always say that outside of parenthood, entrepreneurship is one of the biggest personal development journeys that you can go on. And the reason why I say this is because there are so many things that are going to come up and challenge you as a business owner. Things you could never imagine that were going to happen. It's like a roller coaster of a journey. But hopefully by talking about some of these challenges and sharing practical advice on how to overcome them, it can make your journey just a little bit easier. Hi, I'm Jessica Yarbrough, and coaches and consultants hire me because they want to sell ultra high value programs. Imagine packaging your services and attaching $100,000, $200,000, even $300,000 price tag. I know a lot about strategy and have grown my own successful business and helped many other people reach that next level of growth. So I know what are these common challenges that come up and what you can do to successfully overcome them. Let's dive in. Number one is to make decisions fast. One of the top challenges that a coach or consultant will face at any time is centered around decision making. You may not know which direction you should go, which strategy you should choose, which offer you should make, which tech you should use, and who you should hire or fire. Think about all the many decisions you have to make as a business owner on a daily basis. So what tends to happen as a coach or consultant is you'll have a ton of choices put in front of you, you'll lack clarity on what to choose, and then you go into overwhelm with the sheer amount of choices in front of you. Now add in some fear around making the wrong decision, and what happens next? Oftentimes nothing. And that's a real problem. So many coaches and consultants stay stuck in the same place for years because they don't make decisions fast and stick with them. I've worked with coaches and consultants over the years, and hands down, the most successful clients I've ever worked with are the ones that make decisions fast and follow through on them. So if you want to be successful, stop sitting on the fence when it comes to making a decision. Remember that indecision actually is a decision. And if you're stuck and not consciously making a decision to change your situation, you will stay the same, or it could even get worse. So make a decision quickly, even if it seems a little scary, and then commit fully to that decision and see it through if you want to realize success. Another challenge of running a coaching or consulting business is solving what I call the people problem. And if you're running a service-based business, you're going to have even more people problems to solve because you not only have your internal team that's necessary to run the operations of the business, but you also have to serve clients. And this is much more intricate than, say, a product-based business, because your job is as the business owner is to make sure that you have people in your organization that will manage the day-to-day operations, but that can also ensure your clients are happy. And one of the first things I do with my clients is I look at their current workload along with who's on their team and figure out who they can delegate more tasks to. This could mean adding things to an existing team member's role, but it could also mean adding new team members. It's really important that if you want to scale, that you have the right people on your team to support you in growing the business. It's also important that your client delivery is dialed in. So many coaches and consultants really focus on lead generation without following through with great client delivery. And if you want to be able to keep your existing clients, have them renew, and have them refer others to you, then you need to be excellent at client delivery. Also, the better you get at client delivery, the greater the results that you will get your clients, and therefore the greater demand will be for your services. So the people challenge is one of the most complex parts of running a business that a coach or consultant will face. But because the nature of this type of business is service-based, it's also one of the most essential challenges to overcome. Another huge challenge of running a coaching or consulting business is time management. I can't tell you how many high six-figure earners come to me for my help and have absolutely no control over their time. They're typically working a lot of hours, have very little free time, not taking vacations, and often not taking care of themselves, and yet they're earning a good chunk of money. But they know at this point they can't do more to make more. Their business isn't scalable because they don't have any time to work on the business, and they want to grow their bottom line and also get their time back. Time management is absolutely critical to being able to grow the business. And this is everything from setting strong boundaries about when you work and when you see clients, to creating some back-end processes to offload some of your work to team members. And also to stop focusing on the things that are not important and they're eating up all your time, and instead focus on the things that are going to move the needle forward in terms of bottom line growth. I created an entire video on effective time management strategies for coaches and consultants. If that topic interests you, be sure to check the video out. The link is pinned in the comments below. The systems and tech dilemma is also a huge challenge of running a coaching or consulting business. Oftentimes I see entrepreneurs that may have some systems, but not necessarily the right systems to run their business. And some coaches and consultants that come to me honestly don't have any systems at all. They're kind of fumbling their way through the dark in being a business owner. If you want to scale your business, you need thorough and complete systems. Everything from marketing systems to sales systems to client delivery systems. And this is a pretty big undertaking. It's also probably one of the most overlooked and underrated aspects of growing a coaching or consulting business, but it's one that's absolutely necessary. Another big issue would be technology. So many coaches and consultants don't have the right technology and they're not sure which technology to choose. Now, when it comes to systems and technology, it's really helpful to have an outside expert that can help guide you with understanding exactly what you need to create to run a successful business. I can honestly say that I hired a lot of coaches and consultants over the years, and most of them did not have their systems really dialed in. And it was frustrating to experience as a client, but it forced me to meticulously create my own internal systems so that the experience was very different for my clients. And it took me a long time to build my systems to where it is today. And now every client that joins my programs literally is blown away by the level of organization and detail that we've created. So if you want your business to run like a well-oiled machine, you need systems. And if you want to pull yourself out of the center of the operations, you need processes. And the more that you can embrace technology, the more efficient your business is going to run. So if you're struggling with this challenge, start with those different departments I mentioned, like marketing, sales, and client delivery, and start to map out what processes you currently have in place. And as far as technology, it's important to understand not only what's available to you, but what your essential needs are, so you can determine the best technology to use in your coaching or consulting business. Another big challenge facing coaches and consultants comes down to lead flow. And lead flow can take shape in many different forms. Some coaches and consultants have built a completely referral-based business and they're still making good money. The problem is they don't know when that next referral is going to come through, and so they have a lot of uncertainty in their business. And this influences their ability to make decisions, especially around growing the business. Other people may not have a strong referral network and they're using social media and networking, for example, to generate leads. And the goal is to have a pipeline full of qualified prospects. So many people turn towards lead generation agencies, for example, to help them. Unfortunately, this can be a really mixed bag type of experience with these agencies who may get you phone calls, but they're not qualified clients. And there's so many different ways to market your services and get clients. There are people who will tell you that speaking from stage is the best way. Others will say, hold a webinar. Others will say you need to write a best-selling book or post on social media or start a membership site. And it can be pretty overwhelming to determine what is the best strategy for your business. Now, for my clients specifically that are focusing on ultra high-end B2B deals, a lot of the strategies out there that are being taught are not relevant. For example, if you're trying to get a busy CEO to join a low-end membership site with the hopes of selling them into high-value programs eventually, that's probably not your best strategy. Now, there are plenty of strategies for you to review and determine which one is best for you, but I will say no matter which strategy you choose, what is absolutely essential to your success is your ability to influence others to buy from you. In fact, I put together a guide on the ladder of influence that talks about the different levels of influence and how to grow your authority and scale your business. I highly recommend you grab a free copy. The link is pinned in the comments below. Finally, closing sales is another big challenge that many coaches and consultants will face. Now, some people are natural-born salespeople, but most people are not. The good news is you can learn how to become better at sales. So if you're on the phone with people and you're not closing deals, know that there is hope. However, as a strategist, it's really important to understand why you're not closing the sale. It could be your offer. It could be your pitch. It could be that the person isn't qualified, that they don't have the money, that they're not ready to invest, or any number of reasons. However, if you have a great offer and a qualified person on the phone and you're not closing sales, and this is happening a lot, then that is a sign that you have an issue with your sales conversation. Your prospects should come pre-framed to buy. They should know who you are, understand the types of services that you provide, and view you as a credible expert. This is going to help position you better in that sales conversation to actually close. It's really important that you have solid marketing in place to help educate and nurture potential buyers. It's also really important that you know how to hold a sales conversation. And there's certainly a flow to a sales conversation and things you can learn about how to hold that call, but there's also these nuances to what you say, how you say it, even the energy of your voice when you say something that can make or break a deal. I've listened to many of my clients' sales conversations over the years, and the feedback they got from me often meant the difference between losing a six-figure deal and then closing the next one. So it's really important that if you're facing this challenge, that you have an outside expert that can help you not only with identifying what is the core problem in your sales system, but also one who can help you improve your actual sales conversation so you can take someone who's clearly interested in your services across the finish line to becoming a paying client. This wraps up my video on the biggest challenges facing coaches and consultants and how to overcome them. What challenges have you faced in growing your coaching or consulting business? What action steps did you take to overcome them? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time.